The Alpha School that I visited, the first 2 hours of every day, every student is getting AI instruction in different subjects. There is a teacher there, and the teacher is monitoring what's going on. And I have seen a teacher in front of a whole, it's almost like a video wall of boards of the computer programs for each of those students in her class.
You know how at Walmart, instead of having a single cashier running a single checkout lane, they will instead have that single cashier watching over like 20 different self-checkout lanes at once? Yeah, that's effectively what they are trying to reduce teachers down to now. Not because it makes for a better education or makes for a better experience at school for your kids or grandkids. In fact, it's going to make that education worse, and it's going to mean they have a worse experience getting that education. No, they want to do this because it'll save money. And any money that they stop spending on our schools, that's money they can slip right into the pockets of billionaires instead.
The UK government is facing legal action over the deployment of AI surveillance technologies in public schools. Human rights organisations allege that children's data is being unlawfully collected and processed, raising significant concerns over privacy and consent.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So in today's episode, you're going to be talking about how the government has started incorporating AI systems into school systems, right? And I wanted to ask you, our audience, how many of you are parents to school-going kids, and were you aware of this? Also, I wanted to ask, when exactly did it become cumbersome for the old-fashioned way of learning to be integrated in school? Because right now, they want to change everything.
Right, and American parents are not at all happy with this system, and there is also reports that UK is also implementing the same kind of technology. What parents are worried about is the privacy of their kids being invaded, plus kids will not have the proper guidance if AI is majorly following up how they are studying.
Right, guys, so let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. For now, let's watch what we prepared, and then we come back and talk about it.
Yeah, so this is insane. Schools are now using AI surveillance systems to monitor kids in class to make sure they are paying attention. Two guys at the University of Pennsylvania created this AI software that will monitor children in class to see how engaged they are, how often they go on their phones, if they're cheating, everything. It basically watches them every minute of the day and gives that data to the teacher in the school.
Parents of a Marana High School student are suing the district, and if you're a parent in Arizona, you're going to want to know why. This Marana teenager was a top-performing student, great GPA, and no disciplinary record, as parents say. So when he got a bad grade, he was taken aback and decided to email his teacher asking for clarification. But according to his mom, who was in the room with him when this happened, the kid got nervous. He started making jokes on the computer, like, Mister, I want to date your sister." But then he typed, quote, "Gang, gang, give me a better grade or I shoot up the school, homie." His mom looks at him and says, "Wait, did you actually type that? Delete that so you don't accidentally send it." She tells me his face transforms into panic as he realizes he deletes it, and then he slams the laptop shut, never having sent the email. But the school calls him an hour later. They knew what he wrote because of a monitoring software installed on the laptop. And ultimately, he was suspended for 10 days. Then told it would be 45 days, or 11 days if he went to 3 therapy sessions. Now, his parents are suing, say the school violated the boy's First Amendment rights. They say schools have less authority to regulate speech that occurs off campus, and this speech, they say, was obviously not a credible threat. The mom of this Marana student told me prior to this situation, she wouldn't have minded monitoring, and now she feels differently. She feels like we're giving up a lot of freedom for the illusion of safety.
Here's the thing. We don't even know yet what the long-term impact of AI tools like ChatGPT will be. But we do have preliminary reports that already indicate that the impact of AI tools on developing brains could be disastrous. As researchers at the Brookings Institute put it in their recent pre-mortem report about the use of AI in classrooms, cognitive development requires that students go through the effort of processing, of mistake-making, and problem-solving. But tools like AI just allow students to circumvent that process altogether, meaning that while they might have the right answer to turn in at the end of the day, they didn't actually advance their cognitive development at all, which means they didn't learn what they were meant to learn. Now multiply that over the course of multiple grade levels, and you've got a real crisis on your hands. AI could also have horrific impacts on students' social and emotional development. These tools are built to be inherently sycophantic. They're essentially the ultimate yes men. Multiple studies already have found that no matter how bad of behavior a user reported to their AI chatbot, the chatbot still found a way of just siding with them, even when the user was describing abusive behavior. Now imagine the impact that kind of yes man feedback could have on boys and girls who are still learning how to navigate relationships. Again, none of this has anything to do with wanting our kids to have the best possible education. It is solely about convincing the working class that we don't need all that funding for all those teachers after all, so let's just send that money to the literal billionaires instead.
The UK government is facing legal action over the deployment of AI surveillance technologies in public schools. Human rights organisations allege that children's data is being unlawfully collected and processed, raising significant concerns over privacy and consent. Let's delve into this case. In early 2025, human rights groups initiated a lawsuit against the UK government, challenging the use of AI-based surveillance technology in public schools. They argued that these systems, which included facial recognition and behaviour monitoring tools, are being implemented without proper consent from parents or students. They contend that this practice violates data protection laws and children's rights to privacy. The government maintains that the use of AI technology in schools aims to enhance safety and streamline administrative work. Officials assert that these systems are developed in compliance with existing data protection laws and that measures are in place to safeguard the information. Critics argue that the lack of transparency undermines these assurances. The lawsuit brings to the forefront critical questions about the balance between technological advancement and individual rights. Key concerns include consent. Are students and parents adequately informed and given genuine choice over the data collection? Data security. How securely is the data collected and stored? And who has access to it? Purpose limitation. Is the data used solely for the intended purpose, or could it be repurposed without consent? Advocacy groups emphasize the need for children-centric approach to AI development in schools, ensuring that technologies support education without compromising privacy. This case also highlights the importance of robust legal frameworks to govern emerging technologies in sensitive environments like schools. As this legal battle unfolds, it underscores the critical need for transparent policies and ethical considerations in the integration of AI technology in education. Stay informed about the development in this case and the broader discussions on technology and privacy by subscribing to our channel.
Artificial intelligence, data, and children. That's already a deeply questionable intersection. And ethics appears in a few ways. So the first is, what data are these AI systems going to be collecting when it comes to children? Are parents aware, and did they give consent? And what can be interpreted from the data that gets collected on children? So we want to know where their stamina is on math. We don't want to interpret other emotional cues unless we have figured out how to do that safely with parent consent. The second is the strange way bias shows up in AI systems. There are unique ways that AI can make predictions about you and then change the level of advice that it gives you based on what it knows about you. So there was a study done using most of the most famous AI systems, and it showed that when you asked the AI systems about African Americans, it gave all great positive reviews. When you gave the AI system an example of text that had more traditional African American English in it and asked the AI systems questions about that user, the AI system would say, oh, this person's never going to go anywhere. I can't even imagine a job for them. They'll be in low-wage jobs. Picture this in education. The AI system detects somebody has this kind of ethnic background or is this gender, and then gives the teacher worse feedback on that student, or gives the student worse advice in problem solving. And I'd say the final thing that we're going to have to watch out for, and we saw this with social media, is the relationships kids are going to build with these systems. We are now giving kids access to an infinite, never-ending opportunity to engage with an imaginary friend, something that is always on, can answer all of their questions. That is a recipe for a new type of addiction. We saw what happened with social media. We don't have to do that social experiment again.
If you're in school, I feel terrible for you. This might have gone too far now. Holy shit. Some schools are starting to scrap the normal CCTV cameras in your hallway and install full AI systems and cameras even in the damn bathrooms. Yep, they are literally installing these AI cameras and also AI systems which literally scan everything that the pupils do. You may have seen in China recently they brought in these headsets which the students have to wear. It tracks their movements and if they're actually paying attention or not. Wild. But what these new AI systems in schools are going to do is track whether there's a threat. Yeah, the AI surveillance will basically work like a built-in ChatGPT to the school, but will track everything that happens, if there's strange sounds, if someone is acting a bit suspicious while in the bathroom, or anything like that. But of course, there is a huge amount of privacy concerns, because how is there AI being allowed in a bathroom with underage children in it? A lot of parents are actually agreeing with this, saying this makes schools so much safer because they're going to be able to catch things with the AI detection before anything bad could happen. But as I say, a lot of people are saying this is absolutely not on because it's an invasion of privacy. In the Beverly Hills High School, this was being trialed and is basically ruled out across the school, and it's going to be coming to more across the US and the world in the soon future.
Schools have just officially crossed a line that nobody thought that they ever would, and this is not a future plan. This is happening right now. So some schools are not just watching the hallways anymore. Some districts are now officially rolling out AI surveillance in places that students were always told were private, and yes, that includes bathrooms. This is not just about cameras, by the way. Some schools are now installing AI-powered systems that analyze movement, behavior, and even sound. Officials are saying that this entire plan is supposed to detect fights, threats, and any other warnings early. But in some cases, they're actually using audio sensors, behavioral analytics, and smart cameras that are tied to a massive monitoring system. One of the most talked about examples that is happening right now comes from Beverly Hills High School, where millions of dollars were just spent on AI tools that don't just watch, they interpret. They flag abnormal behavior, unusual sounds, and patterns that the system will decide is suspicious. There's privacy groups that are warning that these systems actually trigger false alarms, invade student dignity, and don't actually stop anything. And parents are extremely split on this. Some parents want maximum security, but others are asking why AI is anywhere near bathrooms. This is live and happening right now, and it's also expanding, and nobody can agree where the line needs to be drawn.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos we just played here. You know, some things really sound like they don't sound real, you know. So I decided to ask ChatGTP, not ChatGTP, but Google, if AI programs have been integrated with the school systems, just because I wanted to erase any doubts out there. So I asked Google, have AI programs been integrated in schools in UK and US? And it said, yes, AI programs are actively integrated into schools across the UK and US, moving from experimental trials to daily classroom routine. So this is something they want to take hold, right? Adaptation focuses on personalized learning platforms, automated marking to reduce teacher workload, and AI chatbots for student support, right? By 2025, 60% of UK educators report using AI in their professional work. Personal opinion, I feel like this is going to make the general mass just lazy. It's going to make human beings lazy. It's just the same thing as it's just relating it to wanting these gadgets to think for you, you know.
Right, and what that might give birth to is a generation of non-thinkers, because they have technologies that think for them.
Right, and this is very, very dangerous because, guys, you remember when they started coming up with technologies for agriculture to be able to reduce workload for the companies, and people were complaining because people were used to working with their own hands, you know, and they were saying it's not the same when you're working with a robot, because now you're going to be replacing a human workforce, and these people are going to get unemployed, and it's going to be creating a whole other problem, you know.
Right, and of course for the companies it's a good thing for them, but for human beings who rely on those jobs it's a bad thing for them, just like teachers also. Anyway, let's see how this whole situation is gonna go.
Right, because guys, can you imagine in a classroom? I feel like we've been given perfect or good examples in today's clips, because like I'm trying to think of the old traditional way of doing things. The way we grew up, I really feel for the next generation, because there's a lot of the things that they'll be doing, they won't be aware, and they will think that that is the normal way of living. Because us, when we were growing up, and a lot of you who are watching us, teachers used to come to classrooms. We used to have interactive segments. They teach us, we ask questions, and then there's that acknowledgement when, let's say, for example, you've performed well, the teacher will go through the work of every other student. They'll know the weaknesses of every other student and strengths, and they'll come to class and they'll praise those ones who've done well. And just that interaction, the public acknowledgement will make a student want to work hard, right?
Right. And with this AI, if I understand it correctly, how people have described it, I feel like they are giving rise to a generation that will be working like robots.
Not even robots, like sheep. Have you ever seen a situation, guys? I know a lot of you Americans, when I talk about sheep, unless you've grown up in a farm or you've visited a farm, you wouldn't be able to know what I'm talking about. But the behavior of sheep, how they behave, let's say, for example, you open for them when morning comes for them to go out and eat. They'll always be together, waiting to be directed. They can't do anything for themselves.
And if one goes like this, the rest
they all follow. If the other one
they don't have individual minds,
right, and they can't think in a creative manner. I feel like that is the kind of population they're trying to create, because when you look at the education sector and you bring AI into it, and then look at the agricultural sector, right now I can tell you for sure, when you were growing up, there were more farmers in Kenya than there are today. You understand what I'm saying? So if you create a dependent population, what does that mean? It means that it's going to be very easy for the government or the powers that be to control them, because if you can't grow your own food, you're in trouble. If you can't study and if you can't give yourself the knowledge you need to survive in this world, it's going to be problematic. It means it's very easy for you to be programmed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.